bose bachinda me abakuru niwebo barefuaya kafa babaranda mwe umfokulira kwa bantu kasama yuti bose bachinda me abakuru n'abana bose bashikata n'abana mayo banerira we mwamba kasama ile fire iwe wile webo heshi mwamba later experience alakane webo mwamba Emmanuel bose bakasama bale fire mwamba Emmanuel bakasama bakulira tule fire mwamba wesu Emmanuel chipani ni PF tule fire mwamba wesu Emmanuel wakuito mwele Emmanuel mwamba ambassador Emmanuel wewe fire Emmanuel mwamba ambassador Emmanuel alakane webo mwamba Emmanuel bose bakasama bale fire mwamba Emmanuel bakasama bakulira tule fire mwamba wesu Emmanuel chipani ni PF tule fire mwamba wesu Emmanuel wakuito mwele Emmanuel mwamba ambassador Emmanuel wewe fire Emmanuel mwamba ambassador Emmanuel bakasama bakulira tule fire mwamba wesu Emmanuel tule fire mwamba wesu Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba ambassador Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba ambassador niwebo barefuaya kafa babaranda mwe umfokulira kwa bantu kasama yuti bose bachinda me abakuru n'abana bose bashikata n'abana mayo banerira we mwamba kasama ile fire iwe wile webo heshi mwamba later experience alakane webo mwamba Emmanuel bose bakasama bale fire mwamba Emmanuel bakasama bakulira tule fire mwamba ambassador Emmanuel Emmanuel mwamba ambassador niwebo barefuaya kafa babaranda mwe umfokulira kwa bantu kasama yuti bose bachinda me
Once again, we had started our program at 20 hours, but we received an urgent call that there was a quick development at Ibex Hill Police Station, and I needed to rush there. And that's exactly what we did. As you've seen, I can report that Mama Esther Lungu has been released. She was released around 21:15, unprecedented. You know, the police don't release anyone after 6 o'clock, but the circumstances have been very, very different. Our co-accused, the 4 persons that were co-accused with her, have also been released on police bond. I know you are buzzing and you are calling the eventful issues of today, the arrest of the former First Lady, the locking her up, and police officers just disappeared who were supposed to grant police bond. She had met all conditions. Even our co-accused also met bond conditions. What are the circumstances? You probably know by now that she's been charged with theft of motor vehicles. There are 3 vehicles involved. I think a Mitsubishi Canter, a Toyota Ranex, a Toyota Alex, and there's a certificate of title of a property in Livala. And Mama Esther Lungu was charged with those offenses, and then she had an extra offense of the $400,000 where they are charging her with possession of what they deemed proceeds of crime. Besides the technical issues of the charges, you know the issue. Last year, the former First Lady had given her own niece this money, $400,000 for safekeeping. A few months later, it turned out that this money was missing. And upon inquiry, there were third parties where that money was passed to. So I think she sought to recover that money. But these people had gone on a shopping spree. They bought a property in Livala and they bought those motor vehicles. There was now a legal settlement where lawyers were involved and they signed off the property to her, and the vehicles were then, taken to the residence of the former president. So it was surprising that a few months later, this matter now turned tables. The accused persons now became the victim. They said their properties were stolen by the former First Lady. The First Lady, who had lost the $400,000, was now being accused of stealing, these remnants of the properties that were gotten. But we'll not go into the details. What I can show are just briefly the few videos from Harare. We were in Harare with the former president. The Patriotic Front were invited by ZANU-PF. They had invited the Socialist Party and UNIP. They had invited the ANC. They had invited Frelimo. They had invited SWAPO. They had invited MPLA. They had invited regional parties. President Edgar Lungu, former President Edgar Lungu, received a thunderous welcome in that stadium. The format was that when you arrive, and the order, there's a pecking order. There's an arrival process where you start with the president, former president, then vice president, former vice president, former prime minister, like that, ministers and others. When they called former president to walk and take his position, former President Edgar Lungu, there was thunderous welcome, and the crowd in the entire stadium at National Sports Stadium in Harare, gave him a standing ovation, shouting "Lungu, Lungu," and we were therefore surprised yesterday after that event to receive a call out and the harassment of the event today. I know you are all calling, and I'll open the lines quickly. We'll find time to see if we can, let me just begin to take calls because we don't have time. People need to rest. People will be going for work tomorrow. Let's hear your views about this arrest. For me, I call it a sham. It's bogus. If you look at the ingredients of the offense, this is a case that can't even stand in court. It doesn't have two legs. It's being used as a tool, but we will wait for the court process. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from. Mkwai. Mkwai.
Yeah, this is Comrade Mkosa.
Yes, Comrade Mkosa.
My worry on this case is that, like you have explained, that this was a family matter. Now, my worry is where innocent people are being mentioned, are being condemned. I don't know how we have turned this country. I don't know. Because it is like politics. All what we dream is politics. That's why I always have been saying, maybe. That's why we are suffering like that. That's why we are suffering like this. Because if really you leaders, the opposition, everybody, because we have a lot of people who think maybe they can do something different. If one day you just say, no, the people that want to read, they can help this country now.
Thank you, Mr. Mkosa. We are going to receive, there's no time. We'll receive many. Quickly wind up your views.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkosa. Thank you very much. Mr. Mkosa contends it's a family matter. We think that this matter is being abused by the state, where they turn the victim into the accused persons. You will hear, like I said, after hearing the details of this case clearly. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Samamba. How are you?
Very well, very well.
Yeah, this is Lawrence Samamba.
Yes,
Samamba, I'd say kudos for standing solidarity for the former First Lady. I think it shows spirit as PF. We should continue like that. It seems like so far the president is scared of PF. You know, he's dreaming, he's talking PF, and you guys are so strong because he knows that you guys, you have got experience in politics. You know, you've got a good organization skills, and henceforth we are calling upon the PF, you know, to go to the convention in October, come up with a formidable team, Mr. Mwamba, come up with a very good manifesto that will speak to the wider population of this country. And thank you so much for going to Zimbabwe. And I think that's what makes a president. Seeing you to Zimbabwe, seeing Edgar Lungu Big giving a thunderous welcome, and you guys are there at the State House, celebrating the victory of Mnangagwa. I think this is what makes the president the most. But we Zambians at the ground here, we are supporting you. Please don't relent. This arrest don't stop you from organizing the party. This arrest should, in fact, make you guys stronger and take us to the promised land. Because you had a good vision, you had a good program with government. This time around, let's finish up the program 2026, and it's clear that UPND has no solutions to the problems that we are facing. They have no vision, and that's why the president is scared of PF. So please, don't stop being united. Continue. God bless you. Good evening. We love you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that call. So we are discussing this case of the former First Lady. Today she was reported herself to the police, and she was given a warning and caution, and then finally theft of motor vehicle charges, under Section 281A, Sabbatical 2. Of our laws of Zambia, and she's been detained until now. I'd like to thank members of the opposition that joined her. Savoy Imboila, Madam Chelakateka was with us, and Fred Membe has been with us until just now. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from, and mute the volume of your phone. Yes, good. Thank you. Yes. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mwamba, today is the saddest day in our lives. This thing has never happened before, whereby you find the First Lady being locked up on trumped-up charges. I'm calling them trumped-up charges because if for sure the First Lady had a case of motor vehicle theft, she was not going to be out. By her being released, it shows that there's something fishy about this same case. As politicians, let us play politics with our fellow politicians. First ladies are not politicians. If we want to play politics, can we play politics with our fellow politicians? Let's leave family out of this. There's a lot behind this case. There are invisible hands behind this case. Now, because I'm very agitated today, I won't take long to speak, because next it will be me being locked up because of the way I'm feeling. I don't want to waste too much time talking, but there will be time that we are going to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your concern. Truly, I share your views that this is a very, very sad day today, especially looking at the ingredients of the case. When they called her for interrogation, when she submitted the records, she submitted the agreements, I thought the matter had died, because the matters were self-explanatory. To proceed with an arrest was ridiculous. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. Charles Chitumbo calling from Ndora.
Yes, Mr. Chitumbo, please proceed with.
Yeah. Some of the things, although it's very sad in our history, since us were still young, it's the first time we have seen that the First Lady has been apprehended until now. She's still in the custody. But some of the things, although since we have started following these political things which we are doing, some of the things which I can advise you, because that case, it's straightforward. Yeah, although there's no one who is above the law. So those things, the solidarity, the way you are taking them, those are the things which are not giving us, as youth, they are not giving us some hope of we can support the PF party. We wish the First Lady to become.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our brother from Ndola. So today we had members of the Central Committee, members of Parliament, and then our colleagues from the opposition, fellow sister parties. Honorable Edith Nawakwi came, Dr. Fred Membe was with us, Madam Chalakateka, Madam Savoy Imboela, all came to give solidarity to the former First Lady. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable.
Good evening.
Yeah, you are talking to Mlenga from Maken Villa.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations. You are doing a very good job. Sure. And the other thing is, I just wanted to say, to encourage you to keep on pushing things. Vaiche chiteti vatuchita intimidate, not to kumista intimidate ukwewa jawe. Nga walande fi vakuikata, wachite fi vakuikata havu, we are behind you. I love PF. I'm PF inside and outside. It's only that you don't know me. We are not closer. But I'm encouraging you to continue pushing. And the other thing is, mule yako ngabami kanya kuchita assemble. Mwako pama platform, pa social media, in a live, you are telling us, you are telling people about your agendas. Na kuma radio, na kuma TV station. Filafini. So I think filafini ngabami chinga kuma rallies. Then mule yako live each and every time. Tumako yu, umbiako pa TV, umbiako ku radio, filafini. Teti director tingabalanda tino alamikata then bonse to abwerera panshao. We are behind you. If we are at ground, if we are to amona courage kufuma kuri muwe pamoja. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The arrests come after the threats that were issued by the president when he visited Chimbokaila correction facilities, where he warned the PF that they were regrouping and that he was going to deal with them. He proceeded to go to Chawama and issued similar threats. It's truly sad. And then you see, when the president speaks, the president is authority. When the president is issuing threats, if it's the president proposing violence, you see it in his system. And those remarks clearly were regrettable. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I am talking to...
Mute your device, my brother. We have a lot of feedback.
Yeah. Oh, sorry for that. Yes, I'm talking to Conrad.
Yes, Conrad.
Yes, my take on this one is that let us not politicize everything, and everything must be taken the way it must be taken, so no one is above the law. Yes, so the issue, let us not politicize everything. A case is a case, no one is above the law. So that's my take on this issue.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We, unfortunately, for those calling that we shouldn't politicize, we have to. The president has weaponized law enforcement agencies. The president is issuing threats of violence, threats against lives of people. He's a head of state, for heaven's sake. He says, people haven't been arrested because he said so. Does the president have powers to suspend the Constitution? If anyone has committed the offense, they should be prosecuted. It doesn't depend on the gesture, goodwill of the president. No. I think that's where the misunderstanding may be for those that don't want us to politicize. This is highly political. You cannot run away from it. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. My name is Gautam Nyerere.
Yes, thank you.
From Lusaka.
Yes.
Yes, unfortunately, you've said what I wanted to say. I wanted to follow up and make a rebuttal on the comment of saying let's not politicize this incident that has happened happened to our former First Lady. It's clearly political. My fear is, first of all, the tone by our president. Lately, the tone has become more threatening. It has become harsher. You brave men and women in the opposition have had to face incarcerations over trumped-up charges, and the temperature seems to keep rising and rising and rising. And my fear is that we may get to situations where unwarranted circumstances are upon us. But like everyone else, I encourage you to keep going the way you have been going. You are very brave. Others would falter under that level of pressure, but continue doing what you're doing. Also, I think it's not only just, the onus is not just only on brave opposition leaders such as yourself, but the onus is on all of us to be able to stand up for this injustice, because you can't do it alone. We also need to stand up and support you. Thank you.
Yeah, because we've started this program quite in the middle, and we're interrupted by good news of release of the former First Lady. I'll just play those videos where the president was at Chimbokaila Correctional Facilities, and he issued those threats and his statement in Kanyama, because people think we are just being malicious and we are drawing the president in matters where he's not supposed to. And then I will play the videos from Zimbabwe. Just give me, I think we'll just play them about 4 or 5 minutes, 4 minutes, then let's pick up the cause. Let's start with the one from correction facilities.
Chakukola chimbala chakukola atalebwererapo azankala pati afuna bwerera ayambe kutimenya nso ayambe kupaya bana ba Lawrence Banda afuna bwerere ayambe kupaya mapenzi chibulo ayambe kupaya Lawrence Banda ni masobera osaleta masobera tizachinja mingala to manje chinja mingala ngati mwayamba kupusa tichinja mingalato hapa. Ngati mwayamba kupusa ni wita chani? Mingalato. Ngamba vini na ukuise tizabini na ukuno pita kumbuyo no.
I want to send a message to PF Thugs. I can see they are regrouping now. The fact that we did not lock you up, the fact that we did not arrest you is not that we are not capable. We are just kind people. If you start regrouping now, we'll come for you in a heavy way. In a heavy way. We come for you in a big way. We announce the arrival of His Excellency Mr. Kangaroo.
Your Excellency, this will be followed by His Excellency Joe Kian.
So you can see the two issues clearly are related, and I've got a lot of videos, especially when the president was at the showgrounds here in Lusaka, when he went to Nyimba, similar reaction, the former president. And then you can see the tone, like Gautama Nyerere said, is becoming harsher from the current president. Totally unnecessary. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Augustine is my name.
Yes, Augustine.
Yes, Mr. Mamba. I'm actually following our First Lady. No?
From Livingston, we're grateful.
All right, Mr. Mamba, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good.
Please join us in the conversation. We are discussing the arrest of the former First Lady, Mama Esther Lungu. When you look at the ingredients of the case, this is actually a civil matter. For those saying that that's our aunt, the details will begin to emerge. So she gave the $400,000 to her niece. The niece then gave it to strangers, okay? The two complainants who are in this case, who complained to the police, are not related to the family of President Edgar Lungu or the former First family. So I think there is a lot of distortion in the media. I need to make that very clear. She gave to a niece who gave strangers the money. And after the money was lost, then the strangers came and surrendered these vehicles and their property in Liwala. And there's even a signed agreement, and the police were given these signed agreements. I thought I could make that very clear. People keep on saying it's a family matter. But I think that the information there is insufficient. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. And among the co-accused, we had earlier reported that all of them were police officers. No, I got a clarification. I think only 2 out of the 4 are police officers or officers. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwai.
I was quick to cut my call. I thought maybe you said my time is up.
Yes,
Unfortunately, I was told that you just said, can you conclude? Let me just conclude, comrade.
Oh, okay. Oh, Comrade Mukosa.
Yes.
Okay, please conclude quickly.
Yes. You know what, comrade? It's look at the way, I want you to look at the way the police has handled this matter. Even the people that were chatting outside. This has reminded me of what we went through during your time as PF. If it was under PF, I'm telling you, it was going to be something else. So now, and again, the LS of our former First Lady, it only shows that under New Dawn government, no one is above the law. And they have made it clear that things if somebody is detained, that person must be given a bond within 24 hours. For her being a First Lady, they made it clear first so that she doesn't sleep in cells. This is what we want in our country. And the people, when they are suspected of doing something, let them know that in this country, more especially under this government, we will not be spared. And when you commit crime, don't think that someone will protect you because of your status. Yes, some people they can bring in politics. We know this time in this country, what is happening is politics. Most especially in our PF, it is like now that's when you are running in politics. Even whatever happens, you want to bring in politics. Let me assure you, comrades, that Zambian people have not forgotten what they went through. Those are people that you see chatting outside are those people that were stealing from the poor Zambians. They think that you can come back, they start beating us, they start killing up their fellow citizens. I think that time is the wrong goal. I think this is what I wanted to put across.
Thank you very much for your second take. We have some issues with the other phone, but please keep on calling. Please keep on calling. Yeah, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. Endita. London.
Awe mkwai to atotera pavyo mwawomba mkwai to amona mkwai wa mga president mkwai na abafuma mkwai.
Thank you.
Mwawomba gane nstono umebonde mwone chalo chostapisho chihe akuntanshuku. Mkwai na tumbo mwenzo chalo tachiribu ino kandishire chitika ngajiatu adirira. Ndemona kwa chumutende tapati. Kiko chivere chabawe kile maneka kwa chinomba baza mukubwesha atuishinga nini venjinga kuchinya abantu atirera bandako bakola tirena bakwate byo kuteka beka katuishi chetwala ikalashani balole sheko pabunga byebena bamone pabunga icyo balayira abantu se babombe tabakongera kuikata abantu kwatinina mawe nena mashari bako free shari kala free mumpange na mata pali ule kitunganya nena mabala chingirira nomba wachumo muntu wakirapana kale kwatako oluse ku bantu banabo ikipimo etopimina banobe nabo bageza kupimina ikeza fitenshita na bene byo barekita ikeza fitana bene bifine fyita paka b'omuntu bawatyo omo wapisha omunobe mu muliro na bageza kupisha mu muliro babombere kwa abantu babombere kwa
bantu. Thank you very much, my dear brother from Kasumbalesa. Thank you very much.
Okay, boss.
Thank you. Yeah, please call. Today we are discussing. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm Kambala Aaron within Lusaka.
Kambala Aaron, make your contributions.
How is it amikira pakutua choka wantu but we know what is it wantrane timakamba vazo na stimakamba nyamikira chabe wachoka.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Comrade Nkosa was saying no, she couldn't sleep in the cells. Well, you just don't know the pressure that we have gone through. Our lawyers were even threatened with beatings by officers from the Inspector General of Police. You've seen the video. I posted it on my page. So it hasn't been an easy undertaking. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Bamba.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Joseph. I'm calling you from Kitwe.
Yes, Joseph.
Yeah. I think I talked in November. Yes, Bamwambata papata sana. Please. Bamukosanga batuma please. Yale tumafio mukumo. Yabu tulifukulandako. Like whenever kukulanda. If you Bamwambata filibu, I'm telling you. Mera wale mwanawati wabakata wamai na wabakata waitiru kwa kuhira basoge. People are suffering. I'm telling you. If you Kurokopa date, I'm telling you, if you pay me, wabakata kurokopa date, I'm telling you. Kapisi ni rich kama. Bamwambata papata sana. Butu kileji kizatiri za kulimu. Kata na umi fiye ni rap ye kumikatene. I'm not a member. But I'm telling you, according to my knowledge, never my mistake. Never told me, because I don't know that's the compare for the body. When you are voting, a manja, I want to great. There is great thing. Secretary President, I want to make a time. Whatever our president, our former president, I think, look away. Because everywhere, in the Bundeswehr, when I'm telling you, then the Penal, they just want Israel to come back. Because this is Papa, this is the president. Other times like violence, but they're on the rule of law. This is why no one is above the law. Who is the president of the time like violence? But he is saying no one is above the law, and the rule of law. Which rule of law is he talking about? Because the one who fights violence. What are the want to come with? I want to cover the standard and cover the land. I don't know.
Very much, my dear. Natasha Sano.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Today we are discussing the arrest of the former First Lady, unprecedented, and she was locked up, I think, for almost 6-7 hours. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Nyambe calling from Mong, Western Province.
And Nyambe, mchwane. Shangwe. Ambulele.
Program. First of all, I want to thank you for this program.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, I want to condemn the act by the UPND government by arresting the former First Lady. This is barbaric, and I'm even wondering why what Mr. Mukwasa was talking about. What kind of rule of law does the UPND have brought in this country? This is not the rule of law. If his stomach is full of minga, sleep and keep quiet, other than insults by the rule of law, which is not even here or there. I thank you.
Thank you very much. I have repeatedly asked President Hakainde Hichilema and his government to dedicate time to attending to the issue of the economy, the cost of dire our economy is. I think that's where we need to invest all our time and
I just wanted to recommend you about the job which you did to our first lady, our former first lady, Madam Esther Lungo, and the first family, and the checks and balances which you are giving to this state government. Please, can you continue the same speed? Because as Zambian we are suffering. And can you continue telling our current government that the biggest challenge which they have is not our